At what point do you take profit? This is a good question because it's a very tricky market because the market constantly goes up. And if we've been real for a second, more than likely, if you make a profit on Pokemon, you're not really going to leave the hobby. Let's be real. If it's working out, you're not really going to hang the coat and call it a day. More than likely, you're going to just dive back into the hobby. So if you're going to take profit and the market only goes up because the sealed product is deflationary and it usually doesn't tank in price, then should you even take profit? Should you even sell? The S&P 500 is the same amount of stocks that it was yesterday and the day before, right? There's no stocks being burnt out of supply. But Pokemon is different because Pokemon, every day that goes by, more supply leaves the market. Usually, more than likely, it actually doesn't go down. Or maybe it'll go up 100% and then retrace by like 5% and then go up more after that. So then, should you even take profit? Is this the kind of market that you actually just don't sell? Well, let's discuss in this video. Now, before I start this video, I just want to say, guys, thank you guys so much for the support. It seems like YouTube must have a thing for me because, yeah, my videos have been doing pretty solid lately. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyways, but thank you guys so much for the support. Let's be real for a second. It wouldn't happen if it weren't for you guys constantly supporting, constantly liking, constantly commenting. So, thank you guys so much. It does night and day when you comment and like versus just watching the video. So, you guys all leaving those comments and stuff. You guys are amazing. Alrighty, so we have a Fusion Strike booster box here. Now, this Fusion Strike booster box has done some pretty solid numbers lately. Now, this box was about $160 to $190 about a year ago. So, you may have looked at that and say you bought at $200, okay? And it recently went at $400 about January. So, if you looked at that and you went, all right, I bought a case for $1,200, so $200 each. Now that case is doubled in price. I'm going to sell it and now I've doubled my money. All right, very good. But the problem is that, 2 months later, 3 months later, it jumped up to $600. So from $400 to $600. Okay, then you may have looked at that and gone, oh man, really wish I didn't sell it because if I didn't sell it, it would be $600 now. So really wish I didn't sell it. Okay. All right. So are you saying that you would have sold it if it's $600? Because now it's $1,000. Okay. So now a case is $7,000. So then you would look at that and go, oh, I really wish I held on to that because now I could sell it for $7,000. Okay, all right. So what happens when this is a $2,000 booster box? Are you just going to have the same dumbass mentality? Because the problem is that you can't just look at a box and just go, ooh, if only I held on to it. Like, dude, that's what boxes do. They go up. So the thing is, realistically, if you're in any financial pressure, if you are in financial pressure, that's a different story. I cannot judge you when you're being forced to sell the box. There's no right for me to judge you. Every person's situation is different, so that's just wrong of me to judge you. But if there's literally no pressure for you to sell it, and you just sell it because why the hell not? No offense, dude, that's a little stupid in my opinion, right? So the thing is, at the end of the day, these boxes are so unpredictable, so your best bet is just buy it and hold it. And I want to give a good example. I recently bought 10 Final Fantasy collector boxes. Now, I really do not, please do not click off this video, okay? We're not going to be rambling on about another trading card game and you have no idea what's going on. I'm just going to make it simple, okay? This set has a $60,000 card inside. We have never seen a modern set have a $60,000 card inside. Usually, more than likely, sets that have a $60,000 card inside, usually the booster box will be $10,000 or $20,000. This box is like $2K. So I look at that and I go, all right, I've doubled my money. All right, now I can either sell now or I can hold it. I'm not under any financial burdens. I have all my bills paid. I'm doing decent financially. So I'm like, I look at that and I go, all right, let's not sell any. We don't need to sell any. There's no need. Why sell any? There's no need to. Now, I bought 10, so I have a good amount of leg room. I bought them at about the $900 range, Australian dollars. So that's like, $600 for my American friends out there. So now they're about 2K each. And technically, they're like $1,950, but let's just say I've doubled my money. So I can get $1,800 each. Fully double my money. Okay, that's very good. Cool, very good win. However, perhaps I can hold on to it because I don't know what the market is going to do. Because at the end of the day, if this box then goes to 3K a box or 4K a box, I can't just look at that and go, ooh, if only I held on to it. Like, yeah, dude, boxes go up. That's what they do. And more than likely, boxes go up because the top hit is so expensive. The top hit in this set is literally $60,000. Dude, the potential for this set is through the roof. Now, I know it's difficult to pull the card, and that's why it's so rare, because there's such little out there, but still, the fact is nonetheless that if you open up the box, your dopamine receptors are going to be going off, and that's what people look for in a box. So the thing is, at the end of the day, taking profit on boxes a lot of time isn't really a good idea, except when the set is really horse shit. Now, I have two examples of horse shit sets. Got a fossil pack. I'm sorry, I wish I had Paradox Rift. I wish I had Temporal Forces on hand, but I don't really buy this shitty shit, so I would just use fossil, right? Fossil packs are just like really shit. Like, the set is awful. So let's just say you bought this for $100. Now it's $300 and you've tripled your money. I would then say in that situation, fair enough, get it off your hands. Now, the retail for Final Fantasy collector boxes is about 600 AUD. Generally, booster packs go for about $50 each, and there's 12 in a box. Now, these suckers I got for about $270 each AUD, and the reason is because they're currently being fire sold everywhere because Final Fantasy has sucked in all the volume, so now there's like no volume in other sets. So I bought this at an incredibly cheap price. Problem is, people don't really like the set that much. I bought it because it's so flippin' cheap. Now, you can apply the same thing with Pokemon. If Paradox Rift went to $200 a box, meanwhile, say Destin Rails was $400 a box, you either have a really good set that you're paying double as much for, or you've got a really shit set that is on a fire sale. Well, potentially, sometimes you buy the shit set, but you don't hold it for too long. You just buy the shit set to make an easy play. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this. I'm looking at the market and I'm going, this box is incredibly cheap right now. No one really gives a shit about it, but it does actually have some heat inside. It does have $2,000 serialized card inside. It has a couple other heat in it. Now, let's be real for a second. Probably not going to do that well. However, do we think it's going to stay at 260, 270, 280? More than likely, no. Once these fire sales are done, once these are just being sold at ridiculously cheap prices and the market is flushed out, more than likely these are going to jump to 400, 500, 600 each. Could that take a year? Could that take you 2 years? I literally have no idea. I'm actually extremely new to the Magic the Gathering industry. I've only been in it for about 6 months, so I have quite literally no price data to go based off, and I've never actually owned a sealed box until recently. I never really was appealed to buy any of them. I wanted to buy some Foundation collector boxes, but I just didn't have the balls to pull the trigger. Kind of wish I did, but anyway, that's a story for another time. At the end of the day, I would never hold on to this set for 10 years because it's a horseshit set. Well, at least that's what people in the Magic the Gathering industry say. I think it's good, but I guess I'm new to it, so I kind of know nothing. Anyways, the thing is, at the end of the day, sometimes you buy shit sets because they're so cheap. Those sets you take profit on, because they don't have much long-term potential. But then if you look at Prismatic Evolutions is slam dunk. It's almost like disrespectful to sell it at a profit, right? It's like, I mean, unless you're scalping, it's a different story because you just, you buy it and you just sell it the same day. But if you're investing into it, it's almost like disrespectful to sell it because it's like, dude, do you really think that's it? You think the set is done? Do you think Prismatic Evolutions is going to hang the coat and call it a day? Oh, what's that? Sam sold from Prismatic Evolutions? Alright guys, time to hang up the coat. Prismatic Evolutions is officially donezo. No, that's not what happens. Prismatic Evolutions will just keep going up. Now, it's going to take a freaking long time because they're going to reprint the shit into the oblivion, but once again, once it's out of print, I'm sorry to say, but it's almost stupid to sell such good sets. Take Evolving Skies, for example. I bought Falling Skies boxes for 500, and then 600, and then 700, and you know what this little idiot did? I would buy the box for $600, and then it would appreciate to $800, and then I would go, oh, okay, I'm gonna take some profit, which was just stupid. I was like barely anything, but I was like, oh, all right, I'll take some profit. Then I would buy it at $850 and then sell for $950, and then I'd buy it for $1,000 and sell for $1,200, and I would just keep doing this. And then one day, I swear I just got out of bed. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Am I actually brain dead? Why would I do that? Just buy it and hold on to it. I'm literally buying it it goes up, I sell it, and then I just buy it again, and then I wait for it to go up, and then I sell it, and I just kept doing that. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing that? Why don't I just buy it and just hold it? Like, dude. So that's the thing. It's like, if you're gonna buy something as an investment, which it's a deflationary item, I would totally understand, buying the stock market and then selling it because it just had a really good year. I would understand if the S&P does 20% in a year or 25%, and you go, I think the next year is going to retrace by 10%, so I'm going to sell it now and I'm going to buy it later. I'll say, fair enough. Dude, worst case scenario, if you're wrong, like, dude, you just buy it back later. Maybe you buy it and it goes up by 5% and you just made a little bit of a bad trade. But you can learn off of your trades. You can learn off of those. The thing about Pokemon, it's just like, dude, it literally only goes up. So you have to have like a really good reason to sell it. Now, there is one exception. If you're not financially tight, or if you're not like under any financial burdens, but you still want to take profit, there is a bit of an exception. The exception is downsizing your play to make room for new funds for other plays. And this is what I'm doing with my Final Fantasy boxes. So with my Final Fantasy boxes, I'm still in the process of thinking how many I want to sell, but I'm probably going to be selling 6-ish, probably 4 to 6. So I want to have at least like 4 boxes. I think that's a pretty fair number, especially the fact that all of those 4 will actually be free because I've doubled my money. So it's like, it's a completely free investment. So it's like, that's sick, right? Like, that's so cool that I have this investment that I never need to sell. Potentially it would help fund a house deposit in the future. Potentially it would help fund, I don't know, be buying a new pillowcase or something. I really don't know. That's an expensive pillowcase. Holy shit. I don't know why, but I don't have a pillowcase. I just have the raw, like, fluff. It's so freaking weird, man. I need to buy a new pillowcase. But anyways, the thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell 4 to 6, and I'm going to use those funds to buy some more Paladin Fates. I'm really not happy with my position on Paladin Fates. I think 2 displays is nothing, and I need to get at least like 6 more. Once again, here's the thing. I'm very confident on Paladin Fates, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to buy 30 displays and then sell them in a year's time. If I can buy like 6 or 7 displays, and then I just hold on to them for like years on end, I feel like that's far better than just buying 30 and then selling them later, like a year later. You're way better off just buying like 5 or 10, but then you can hold on to them for like half a decade. So I think it's a really good idea to take profit when it goes up a lot to make room for other investments. And I think it's better to do that in like a craze. I don't think it's the best idea to do that when the market is cooled off. And I'll tell you why. If the market is very quiet, usually you have a lot of time to make a move on the market. Generally, you can take your time, meaning you can have more time to accumulate more funds to invest with. Now, here's the thing. So let's say Team Up, for example, right? Team Up booster boxes were about 3K AUD or 2K USD for about a year, and then it jumped up to 5K for 2 months, and then it jumped up to like 8K, and then now it's selling for like 11K. Someone actually commented on my video saying that I'm over exaggerating it to make my video seem more intense. I'm not shaming them or anything. Like, if you're watching this video, I'm not like shaming you or anything, but I just pulled up a sale of it selling for literally like 10.5K or like 11K. So like, please note, when I say these numbers, I'm not exaggerating it. Like, I literally have sales data to prove it. I'm not just exaggerating it to make my videos more intense. Anyways, the thing is, you had plenty of time to buy it at 3K a box. So in that situation, I would go ahead and say, all right, maybe don't sell your boxes and just get more time to accumulate more money. When you've got a really good opportunity, but you also have a lot of time to take up on that opportunity, it doesn't really change it whether you buy it now or in 3 months or in 6 months. So with that Team Up box, I mean, let's be real for a second. We all had about a year to buy it. We had plenty of time to buy it. And quite frankly, now it's 10K a box. So if you bought it, you're laughing. If not, I guess you're not laughing. The thing is, you could have literally, a year is a long time. You could have worked an extra like 2 hours a week and you would have made the money back, right? So it's like, what? The minimum wage is like $25 times 52. I can't be bothered doing the math, but it's something, right? 3 shifts, 4 shifts, whatever, however many extra shifts you would have to do. It wouldn't take a lot. So you would be laughing. You could just take your time getting the investment. However, if you're in a craze like we are now, where just everything's going crazy, maybe you can just sell a couple boxes to fund buying it. Like Paladin Fates, I don't know how much longer it's going to be at like $950 a display, and honestly, I would cry myself to sleep if it went to like $1,500 display and I didn't buy any or buy any more because I took my time with it. And that's why it's like I was thinking I want to buy Paladin Fates some more displays in like August or September. I'm working things out, but I'm going, I don't know if it's going to be this price then. I just can't imagine it wouldn't go up. So then I think, all right, maybe I should just sell some of my Final Fantasy boxes. After all, I've done absolutely phenomenal with it. I might as well sell a couple boxes. So that's what I'm doing. That's my strategy with that. Now, I don't think you should be doing this for long-term plays, right? You shouldn't be selling half of your investment when it comes to long-term plays. And the reason is because you don't know what the market is going to do, right? So team up boxes went to 5K, and people may have looked at that and gone, all right, I have 2 cases of team up boxes. I'm absolutely laughing right now. I have like what? So like 60K or more. That's like 70K worth of boxes. You might look at that and go, damn, I've done absolutely phenomenal. But here's the thing, if you just hold on to it a little bit longer, now it's 10K a box. So now you're really laughing. The problem is, I mean, I could be, I don't want to exaggerate my views, but people are now asking 15K per team up box, and like they're not selling, but they're creeping up there. So the thing is, of course, every single box may have its temporary peak, but at the end of the day, if the demand continues, then those really good sets like Team Up, Evolving Skies, Prismatic Evolutions, Final Fantasy boxes, those are the type of sets where they just keep going up. So then it's almost like stupid to sell it because it's like it's such a good product and it's such a good opportunity. So then if you sell it now, you should just instead secure your position on it and just never sell it. Sell Paradox Rift, sell Paladin Fates, sell Destined Rivals. Dude, sell those. Of course, they're fantastic sets. They blow all the other sets out of the waters. But they're not those kind of sets like Final Fantasy or Evolving Skies or Team Up. Those are the kind of sets that you should just never sell. But for like the more medium sets like Fusion Strike, maybe you can sell it. But then for these type of sets, the shitty sets, I would say sell it as soon as you double your money. I hate to say it, but I don't think I'm going to be holding on to these guys for much longer, because the second these hit 500 or 550, I'm going to just floor them immediately. I've got like 9 of them. I'm just going to sell them, take my doubled money, and just piss off. I don't want to hold this long term. It's a shit set. People don't seem to like it. Why would I want to hold on to it? I'd rather just deploy that money into more Evolving Skies. At least I know it's going to double in price. Once this goes to 500 or 600, I have no guarantee it's going to go to $1,000 a collector box or $2,000 a collector box. Evolving Skies, I can confidently say, will be $10,000 a box by the end of 2035, right? So why would I want to hold on to a shitty set that could stagnate versus Evolving Skies, which I know will do absolutely amazing? I'd rather just buy more Evolving Skies at that point.